Thank you. My cover is now blown. When you all saw that, 13.5 million, straight away the first reflex was, here comes another Wall Street hotshot talking about investing and making more money out of money. Good news, I'm the furthest from a financial advisor you'll ever meet, but I am talking about investing today. Investing 13.5 million minutes of your sleep into this mutual fund, which will return handsomely health dividends. Where does 13.5 million come from? 13.5 million is the number of minutes all of you, hopefully, should sleep in your average expected lifespan of about 80 plus years. Yes. And you, my love, will sleep a little more in the first part of your life. So 7.5 hours a night, or up to 8, sums up to about 13.5 million minutes. And yet all of us are losing this little by little with every passing decade. A sleep physician, that's what I am. And again you go, a sleep physician? Wait a minute, you've heard of all kinds. But a sleep physician, what's that? That must be easy. Everybody sleeps. Just tell them to go to bed. And yet all of us in this room know of someone who has trouble sleeping. Yes? Yes. And sadly, one sleep physician graduates, only one every year from the state of Indiana, and 150 in the entire country. Enough? I don't think so. Let's go back to the beginning. When all of you were born, including the person sitting next to you, assuming they're all human, we all came pre-programmed by nature with 2 voluntary skills that were essential. Voluntary skills meaning you have control over these for the most part. One was the ability to eat. Nobody taught you that. And the second was the ability to sleep. You're in it. Very good. Why did nature not take a chance of your mother or family teaching you these 2 essential voluntary skills? They must have been so incredibly important. Now, eating, let's talk about eating for a second. Nutrition, eating, for the last 80 years, we have made this a pillar of health, haven't we? Yes, all of us agree, nutrition, eating is a pillar of health. Sadly, we have slept, no pun intended, on the importance of sleep as an important pillar of health. I feel even a bigger pillar than nutrition. That's my bias. And the good news is, finally, we are waking up to the importance of sleep. It must have been so incredibly important that this is the activity you all will do more than any single activity in your life, like it or not, love it or not. And then comes my alma mater in 1972 from Chicago, said, if sleep doesn't serve some vital function, it is the biggest mistake evolution ever made. Evolution, for all of us in this room who probably believe in evolution, evolution tells us 2 things. 1, survive, don't get killed, and B, make more of your own. Essentially, it distills down to these 2 basic qualities. And when you're truly sleeping, do you think you can truly survive an attack from a predator? No. You can get killed over multiple times in the 7-8 hours that you're closest to death you'll be, and then wake up again. And can you truly gather food? No. Can you truly procreate and make more of your own? No. So sleep is almost anti-evolutionary on the surface, but is it? We'll find out. Why? Why do we sleep? Why should we sleep? The great Thomas Edison said, sleep is a waste of time, it's coming in the way. And then what does he do? He goes on to invent, I feel, the enemy of sleep, which is artificial light. And excessive artificial light is now eating into our sleep time, invading our nights, to a point where all of us are sleeping a whole hour less than we did about 70 years ago. Good news or bad news? Yes. Yes. What does sleep do? Why should we do it? I get this question so many times. How can I sleep less, get away with less sleep? Tell me, Abhinav, tell me. I said, the day I can compress the human pregnancy from 9 months to 3 months and get the healthy baby going, I will tell you how we can get by with less sleep. Sadly, I don't have better news for you right now. The washing machine you see up here, all of us know what it does. 7 or 7 to 9 hours. That's not your washing machine. That's the cycles that your normal sleep biology needs to cleanse your brain, restore, replenish, align, organize, archive memories, knowledge, and all that you've learned in the day, flush out the toxins, get you ready for the next day. Survival. That's what the washing machine does, right? It spins, it rinses, it removes all the dirt from the clothes, and it's ready for you in about 3 to 4 hours. Can you really rush it if you wanted to? Not really. And such is sleep. Okay, poor sleep. If something messes with this process, whether you cut it short with quality reduction or quantity reduction, what are you lining up for? As we know, behavioral issues. All of us know, from kids to adults, if you don't sleep well, you're signing up for irritated, you're signing up for being irritable, grumpy, forgetful, annoying, I can go on. All of us know immediately how you feel the next day when you've slept poorly, correct? Show of hands. Who feels, yes, thank you. No fighting there. And even more prominent is the fact that chronic poor sleep leads to mental health conditions. It's well established: anxiety, depression. No fun. Productivity. For a fabulous Fortune 500 company, it banks on your shoulders of hard work to deliver the best productivity, whether it's creative productivity, whether it's acute, chronic, performing at 150% at all times. Poor sleep will take that away. From the best athletes to the most common folk, everybody needs adequate quality and quantity of sleep. Stanford published a very nice paper several years ago where they took varsity basketball players and made them sleep less, and guess what? Those players were missing their three-pointers more, missing their free throws more by a significant percentage, a 20% drop, which is significant if you just think about it. Cognitive. This is one of my favorites. I feel one of the most burning papers that have come out in the last 5 or 7 years tell us that poor sleep is poor cognition. You know, you forget stuff. Dare you forget something that your significant other has asked you to do, and that doesn't land you in trouble. But 2 important things I want you to take your attention towards is, the first one is, when we sleep, we recently found out that our brain cells shrink a bit, and the spaces between these neurons increase, and the flow of cerebrospinal fluid. What is that? It is the fluid that our brains and spinal cords bathe in all our life. So they float beautifully, and this flow of CSF increases 20-fold when you're sleeping. Why? It's your pressure wash. It's washing away all the toxins and the gunk that's accumulated from hard days of work every night. Now imagine that not happening if you sleep poorly. And the second one is beta amyloid. What is beta amyloid? Beta amyloid is the stuff you don't want sticking around in your brain for long. It's again the trash that needs to be collected every morning. And they showed in mice and humans that sleep deprivation leads to more beta amyloid in the areas which are responsible for memory. And now it's connecting the dots. Anybody? All my scientists I can see lighting up in the room, I hope. Dementia and Alzheimer's disease is where beta amyloid takes you to. Accidents. Nobody wants a drowsy driver in your next lane to work. 30,000 accidents every year in the US involving fatalities, 30% of those involving drowsy driving. So your reaction times are less, you don't react soon enough, tons of papers. You don't want that in your lane when you're driving to work tomorrow. Immune system. Immune system is poorer when you sleep poorly. You have a 5 times higher risk of catching the common cold. Not fun. Another fun paper found out that mitochondrial DNA in your white blood cells. Yes, here goes my medical nerd geek again. Mitochondria are your battery packs in every single cell you have. White blood cells are your soldiers, frontline defense in your blood. They have less mitochondrial DNA if you are chronically slept less or poorly sleeping, which means your soldiers don't have enough energy to fight. Guess what? You're going to get sicker, you're going to stay sicker for longer, and your recovery will be longer. Weight gain. Everybody's eyes light up now because sleep and weight gain. You just start typing on a search engine, sleep, and I kid you not, the 4 things that pop up, one of the first ones are weight gain. And why? When you sleep less, your stomach releases more of a hormone called ghrelin. Sounds like growling, doesn't it? It does growl. So it does growl, sends a message to your brain which screams, E-A-T. Eat. Eat more, I'm not done. And the hormone leptin, which says, stop eating, I'm feeling lean, I'm satisfied, let's go out and run, is suppressed. So you sleep less, you're signing up for more weight gain, straight up. Secondly, healthy adults, when they were made to sleep 5 hours or less chronically, in 4 weeks, developed the patterns of prediabetes and insulin resistance. 4 weeks, healthy adults, no other issues. This is fantastic research about 20 years ago, and more now. Cardiac, everybody starts to now get serious because that's where the sleep field began to get a little bit of limelight. In the 90s, we found out that poor sleep equal to hypertension, and so much has been discovered in the last 20 years. I want to take you to the most recent one, which is 300% higher calcification in your coronary arteries in healthy adults who are sleeping less. 300%. So imagine that. That's, for those of us who are from Indiana, we know what hard water and CLR is. And exactly that's what's happening. You just gave up your water softener when you slept poorly. Mortality, that's the truth. The only truth in life is death. And less sleep is equal to faster death, which is 5 hours or less, healthy adults have a 3-fold higher chance of dying within 6 years from that point. All-cause mortality. And a common sleep disorder, sleep apnea, snoring and breathing pauses at night, reduces about 10 years of your life. So we're not talking, hey, I just need to sleep a little better, I don't feel as good. You see all of that, that's expensive. Now do you see the numbers adding up a little bit quicker in this mutual fund I just talked about? Okay, and in my mind, the most expensive impact that poor sleep has is, who's gonna fight with me on that one? That is the most expensive impact that poor sleep has, relationship discord, and that's been established over and over again, and I don't even want to elaborate there because it's just too dangerous and I get scared seeing that. Now in the audience, who would like better sleep? Very good. For the 7 of you who don't, God bless you. For the rest, I have the tools. You have to change how you look at sleep. That's what I want you all to take home from here. Think about it as a flight you are going to catch every night. If a flight itinerary says 10 p.m. takeoff Indy, when are you at the airport? 10? Thank you. At least 8:30 or 9, if that, at the latest. Okay, and I want you to think about sleep as that. The more you try to chase it, the less luck you'll have capturing it, just like that. The more you're lifeless, thoughtless, motionless, and still and empty in your mind, the chances of that beautiful creature perching on you are higher, correct? Exactly. So that's how I want you to think about sleep. And here are what you take home in your pocket tonight. Sleep is a rhythm. The wonderful DJ Gabby got you nodding, didn't she? Favorite tunes. Did you plan on nodding? No, you didn't. That's how sleep is. It's a rhythm. Everything in the body is a rhythm. Just as how you nod to your favorite tune, you've got to set a rhythm. All of us have alarms. I want you to set a reminder at a certain time to go to sleep or prep for bed. Prepare for sleep. Avoid what? Heavy meals and strenuous exercise within 2 hours of bedtime is a rev up. You're just putting your foot down on the throttle. Don't do it to your brain. Sleep is harder if you do those two things. Alcohol. Alcohol is the world's most common over-the-counter, for those who are 21 and over, sedative they use for, I just need a couple of glasses of wine, I'm great. Not good news, because find me one person in the audience who says, I got 5 bourbons last night, and I feel great this morning. I slept so good, doc. 0, because the fragmentation that alcohol gives you after about 2 hours of kicking in is just awful. You don't get into REM sleep or dream sleep, which is so essential for making your memories and cleaning your brain out. Just doesn't happen. Your snoring is worse. You're getting more elbows. You're getting kicked out more of the room. So, screen-free. Please keep yourself screen-free in the room. No TVs. tablets, even the phone. Remember, the eyes have two functions. The one is to see each other, and the second one is sleep control. So they control your sleep wake, so don't do it. And the best iPad that we have discovered is right here. Go get one. I guess the attorneys from Apple are now going to get on the phone with me. Wind down, empty your brain, please. If you have to write a little small journal, do it. Empty your thoughts. You're not going to solve anything at 1 in the morning. You're not, believe me. Everybody's not a Leonardo da Vinci. He left. And meditate a little, which is focus your minds in one thought, a gentle thought. Let it be. So that's how you'll allow your brain to let sleep come to it. Dark, cool, and quiet. All of these things promote melatonin, which is the last hormone we discovered, and melatonin controls sleep and wake. When it's dark, there's more melatonin, which orchestrates your entire sleep symphony at night, head to toe. Now, for the married folk in the audience, this shouldn't be a problem because you know what you're getting in the bedroom, so your choices are pretty limited between those two. So don't bother. This is easy for you guys. And the secret weapon. We've talked a lot about sleep at night, but how about waking in the day? How can we make our waking in the day better? And this is what I use. A 15 to 20-minute short period of, you want to call it a nap, between somewhere around the hours of noon and 3 if you sleep at night, actually help energize and make you clearer and make you chase your donut or 3 p.m. pick-me-upper much less if you did that. NASA has proved it. Google has nap pods. The East Coast, multiple companies have shown improved employee performance. You're less crabbier in the evening. You're less snoozing off on the couch when you get home. Much better. And it's actually synchronizes with your body's circadian rhythm. Our folks across the continent believe in siestas, and I wish we would bring that culture here. And so, I reach my final destination. Better sleep is better health, is better life. In the audience, who is now ready to cash in? Give me a show of hands. Thank you.